In the pursuit of fame and beauty, many celebrities have undergone extreme transformations through plastic surgery, hoping to achieve perfection in the eyes of the public. While some have had successful procedures that enhanced their appearance, others have experienced devastating consequences, with their bodies altered in ways that led to physical pain, emotional struggles, and public ridicule. The pressure to maintain a youthful, flawless image in the entertainment industry has driven these individuals to make life-changing decisions, only to face irreversible damage. From botched surgeries to excessive enhancements, the stories of these celebrities serve as cautionary tales about the dangers of chasing unattainable beauty standards for fame. 1. Joan Rivers, The Cost of Comedy and Perfection. Joan Rivers was a trailblazer in the world of comedy, known for her biting wit, fearless humor, and unflinching honesty. As a female comedian in a male-dominated industry, she fought tirelessly to earn respect, breaking barriers and paving the way for future generations of women in entertainment. Her show, The Joan Rivers Show, earned her an Emmy and solidified her as a comedic icon. Yet behind her success, Rivers faced a deep personal struggle with her appearance, driven in large part by the demands of her public persona. Rivers began undergoing cosmetic procedures in an attempt to maintain a youthful and fresh appearance that would keep her competitive in an industry that values beauty as much as talent. Her initial procedures, such as facelifts and rhinoplasties, evolved into a reliance on surgery. Over her lifetime, Rivers underwent more than 300 cosmetic procedures, including liposuction and Botox, all in an effort to maintain a flawless image. Despite these efforts, her appearance continued to change dramatically, and the media began to mock her for her increasingly altered looks. Rivers' personal life mirrored her struggles with appearance. After the tragic death of her husband, Edgar Rosenberg, Rivers descended into grief and guilt, which led her to dive deeper into her work and, in turn, more cosmetic surgeries. Despite facing ridicule, Rivers never stopped performing and often used the mockery of her changing appearance as fuel for her comedy. Her death in 2014, following complications from a routine medical procedure, highlighted the tragic impact of the pressures of fame. Rivers' story serves as a poignant reminder of the mental and physical toll that the pursuit of perfection can take. 2. Anna Nicole Smith. Beauty, Tragedy, and Addiction. Anna Nicole Smith rose to fame in the 1990s as a Playboy playmate, quickly becoming a cultural icon for her stunning beauty and larger-than-life personality. Yet, her life was filled with tragedy and turmoil, marked by the extreme pressures of maintaining her image. Smith struggled with personal demons, including addiction to prescription drugs and an unhealthy obsession with staying slim and youthful. This obsession with beauty, coupled with relentless media attention, led her to undergo multiple cosmetic surgeries. Smith's marriage to billionaire J. Howard Marshall further fueled public scrutiny, with many questioning the authenticity of their relationship. However, the real tragedy in Smith's life occurred after the death of her son, Daniel, which left her emotionally devastated. She turned to drugs to cope with the overwhelming pain, and the public watched as her physical and mental health deteriorated. In 2007, Anna Nicole Smith died from a prescription drug overdose, leaving behind a legacy of both beauty and personal tragedy. Her story is a sobering reminder of how fame can exacerbate personal struggles, and how the pursuit of perfection can lead to destructive consequences. 3. Michael Jackson. Talent, Transformation, and Tragic Insecurity. Michael Jackson was an undisputed icon of pop music, known for his groundbreaking albums, electrifying performances, and revolutionary impact on music and dance. However, his life was marked by an intense struggle with his appearance, which became the subject of constant media scrutiny. Over the years, Jackson underwent numerous cosmetic surgeries, including multiple nose jobs and skin treatments. His changing appearance, particularly his lighter skin tone, sparked widespread speculation and criticism. Jackson attributed the lightening of his skin to vitiligo, a skin condition that causes loss of pigmentation. However, many questioned the extent of his cosmetic procedures, with some speculating that his insecurities about his looks were at the root of his transformation. These insecurities were linked to his tumultuous childhood, particularly his difficult relationship with his father, which led to emotional scars that would plague him throughout his life. His desire for physical perfection, however, never brought him the happiness he sought, and his increasing reliance on prescription medications contributed to his deteriorating health. Jackson's death in 2009, due to an overdose of prescription drugs, shocked the world and underscored the profound toll that fame and the pressure to conform to society's beauty standards can take. His story reflects the dangers of pursuing an unattainable ideal and the emotional pain that can result from the pursuit of physical perfection. 4. Sylvester Stallone. Strength, aging, and the struggle to maintain an image. Sylvester Stallone, a symbol of strength and resilience, became famous for his roles in iconic action films like Rocky and Rambo. As the face of physical toughness, Stallone embodied the image of the indomitable man, unshakable in both mind and body. However, as the years passed, Stallone faced the inevitable realities of aging, a challenge that did not sit easily with the man who had built his career on youthful strength. In the 1990s, Stallone began to undergo cosmetic procedures, including Botox and facelifts, to maintain the strong, youthful image that had made him famous. Initially, Stallone denied these procedures, but later admitted that he had undergone them to keep up with his public image. His physical transformation became a topic of public discussion, and many questioned the authenticity of his look. Beyond his appearance, Stallone's personal life also took a tragic turn when he lost his son, Sage, to heart disease in 2012. This loss, combined with his changing appearance, attracted further media scrutiny, yet Stallone continued to push forward in his career, embodying resilience both on and off screen. 5. Elvis Presley. The King's Battle with Perfection. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, captivated the world with his voice, charisma, and electrifying performances. He was not only an entertainment icon, but a cultural symbol for an entire generation. However, as his career progressed and the pressures of fame mounted, Presley's image began to deteriorate, and he turned to substance use to cope. In the 1960s and 1970s, Presley's reliance on diet pills and stimulants increased as he tried to maintain his high-energy performances. As his physical appearance changed, gaining weight, showing signs of exhaustion, Presley became the subject of ridicule. His once youthful and dynamic image began to fade, and the media painted him as a shadow of his former self. This decline was compounded by the tragic loss of his marriage to Priscilla Presley and his increasing dependence on sedatives, painkillers, and sleeping pills. Presley's struggles with substance abuse took a significant toll on his health, contributing to his untimely death in 1977 at the age of 42. His passing shocked the world, but his story remains a poignant example of how the pressures of fame and the desire to maintain an image can lead to personal destruction. 6. Priscilla Presley. The pressure to be perfect. Priscilla Presley, the woman who once stood as Elvis Presley's queen, spent much of her life under the spotlight. Meeting Elvis at the age of 14, Priscilla quickly became part of the legendary rock star's world, marrying him in 1967. As the wife of the king of rock and roll, she was expected to uphold a flawless image. After their divorce in 1973, Priscilla found herself struggling to redefine her identity outside of Elvis's shadow. The pressure to remain young and beautiful led Priscilla to cosmetic surgery, including facelifts, Botox, and eventually more extreme procedures in an attempt to turn back time. Her decision to undergo these surgeries came with severe consequences, most notably, a botched cosmetic procedure in the early 2000s that disfigured her face. The media ridiculed her for her altered appearance, and public perception grew increasingly harsh, labeling her as vain. Priscilla later became a vocal critic of the unregulated beauty industry, warning others about the dangers of cosmetic surgery. Despite her struggles, Priscilla went on to preserve Elvis's legacy, turning Graceland into a landmark, and became an advocate for charitable causes. Yet, the emotional scars left by her transformation and the public's judgment are lasting reminders of the human cost of fame. 7. Marilyn Monroe, the tragic pursuit of perfection. Marilyn Monroe is often regarded as the quintessential Hollywood icon, her beauty, charm, and vulnerability captivating audiences worldwide. However, behind her radiant smile and bombshell image lay deep personal turmoil. Monroe's rise to stardom was built on her sex appeal, yet the industry's demands to maintain her image took a toll on her mental and physical health. Monroe, already stunning, underwent various cosmetic procedures, including a nose job and chin surgery, to align with the beauty standards of the time. Her obsession with maintaining her appearance, coupled with extreme dieting and weight control, led to long-term health issues. Monroe's use of sedatives and alcohol to cope with the pressure of being Hollywood's perfect sex symbol only exacerbated her struggles. Her personal life was no less troubled, marked by 3 failed marriages and tumultuous relationships. Despite being adored by millions, Monroe felt isolated, abandoned by both her lovers and the very industry that had made her famous. The weight of public expectations eventually broke her, leading to her tragic death from an overdose in 1962, officially ruled as a probable suicide. Monroe's story remains one of the most poignant examples of the destructive nature of fame and the societal pressure to embody an idealized image. 8. Melanie Griffith, struggling with aging and Hollywood expectations. Melanie Griffith was once Hollywood's golden darling, celebrated for her stunning beauty and acting talent. Her breakout role in Working Girl earned her an Oscar nomination and solidified her place in the industry. However, as she entered her 40s, Griffith began to feel the crushing weight of Hollywood's obsession with youth. As the daughter of legendary actress Tippi Hedren, Melanie was no stranger to the pressures of fame, but it was in her later years that she felt the true cost of public scrutiny. In an attempt to retain her youthful appearance, Griffith turned to cosmetic surgery, starting with minor procedures but eventually resorting to more invasive treatments like facelifts and fillers. These transformations, intended to preserve her beauty, altered her natural features in ways that left her increasingly unrecognizable. The media, once adoring, quickly turned on her, calling her a cautionary tale about the dangers of excessive cosmetic surgery. Beyond her struggles with aging and her changing appearance, Griffith faced personal demons, including battles with alcohol and substance abuse. She also endured painful divorces, most notably with actor Antonio Banderas, a romance that was once adored by the public. These personal and professional crises left Griffith feeling fragmented and lost. However, through resilience and determination, she eventually overcame her addiction and refocused her life on social causes, finding peace in her quieter life, with her family and her daughter, Dakota Johnson. 9. Cher, the unchanging icon. Cher is a living legend. Her voice, her fashion, and her confidence have made her one of the most iconic figures in entertainment. From her early days as part of the duo Sonny and Cher to her reinvention as a solo artist and actress, Cher's career spanned decades, and she became a symbol of strength, independence, and defiance. However, her desire to maintain an image of perfection led her down a painful path. Cher, who has openly admitted to having had numerous surgeries, became somewhat of a pioneer in the world of cosmetic enhancements. Starting with minor adjustments, she underwent facelifts, nose jobs, and other procedures in an attempt to maintain her youthful appearance. Over time, the need to preserve her image became an obsession, leading to a more extreme series of surgeries. In the early 2000s, a facelift left her with severe complications, causing intense physical and emotional distress. The public's reaction was harsh. Paparazzi photos showing her swollen face spread across tabloids, and media outlets ridiculed her for her choices. Cher admitted that her desire to maintain her beauty stemmed from a fear of being forgotten, a common anxiety for those who rise to fame at an early age. Yet, despite her struggles, Cher's enduring influence and confidence remain a testament to her resilience as she continued to rise above the public's judgment. 10. Jocelyn Wildenstein, the Catwoman of Tragedy. Jocelyn Wildenstein, often referred to as Catwoman, underwent one of the most extreme cosmetic transformations in recent memory. Born into New York's elite, Wildenstein married billionaire Alec Wildenstein, but their marriage was marred by infidelity. In a desperate attempt to win back her husband, Jocelyn turned to cosmetic surgery to meet his desire for her to resemble a feline. The numerous procedures she underwent resulted in a dramatic and ultimately tragic transformation that left her with a grotesque appearance. The media, ever unforgiving, mocked her mercilessly, dubbing her the Catwoman due to her bizarre feline-like features. Her personal life also unraveled after a highly publicized divorce that left her with a staggering $2.5 billion settlement, though she was prohibited from using the money for further surgeries. Despite her wealth, Wildenstein's life continued to spiral downward, and she eventually declared bankruptcy in 2018. Her story serves as a cautionary tale of how the pursuit of physical perfection can consume a person, both financially and emotionally. 11. Linda Evangelista, a supermodel's battle with cool sculpting. Linda Evangelista was once one of the world's top supermodels, a member of the Big Five who dominated the fashion scene in the 1990s. Known for her striking beauty, Evangelista became a muse for the fashion elite. However, in 2015, in an attempt to maintain her youthful appearance, she underwent a cool sculpting procedure, a fat-freezing treatment intended to reduce stubborn fat. Unfortunately, she experienced a rare side effect known as paradoxical adipose hyperplasia, where the fat cells enlarged rather than shrinking. This unforeseen complication left Evangelista with lumps and disfigurement, leading her to retreat from public life for 5 years. The media cruelly speculated about her appearance, with many accusing her of overeating or undergoing botched surgeries. This harsh criticism led to deep depression and strained relationships, including her relationship with French businessman François-Henri Pinault. In 2021, Evangelista took legal action, filing a $50 million lawsuit against the company responsible for the procedure. She also reclaimed her narrative, sharing her story with the world and gradually returning to the modeling industry with a major campaign for Fendi. Evangelista's journey highlights the vulnerability of even the most famous individuals when facing the pressures of maintaining perfection. 12. Caitlyn Jenner, a bold transition and personal reinvention. Caitlyn Jenner's transformation from Olympic gold medalist Bruce Jenner to a transgender woman marked one of the most significant moments in the LGBTQ+ rights movement. For decades, Jenner was a celebrated athlete and a beloved public figure. Yet beneath the surface, she struggled with gender dysphoria. In 2015, Jenner publicly transitioned to Caitlyn, undergoing multiple surgeries, including facial feminization and breast augmentation, to align her appearance with her true identity. The public reaction to Caitlyn's transformation was mixed, with both support and criticism. While she became a prominent advocate for transgender rights, her transition strained relationships, particularly with her children. Despite these challenges, Caitlyn remained committed to her advocacy work and continued to rebuild family connections. Her journey has been both empowering and challenging, but it underscores the power of self-discovery and the importance of embracing one's authentic identity, even in the face of societal judgment. 13. Pete Burns, The Cost of Plastic Surgery. Obsession, Pete Burns, lead singer of the band Dead or Alive, became famous in the 1980s for his androgynous appearance and hits like You Spin Me Round, Like a Record. However, Burns's obsession with enhancing his appearance through plastic surgery came at a great cost. Over the years, he underwent numerous procedures, including lip fillers and facial reconstruction. A botched lip filler procedure led to a series of corrective surgeries, resulting in a swollen, distorted face that became unrecognizable. The media relentlessly mocked Burns, labeling him a plastic surgery disaster. And he admitted to feeling like a monster trapped in his own body. His marriages deteriorated, and the depression that followed became overwhelming. Despite the emotional and physical pain, Burns continued to make music and shared his struggles openly with the public. His tragic journey serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of cosmetic excess and the toll that society's obsession with perfection can take on mental health. Pete Burns passed away in 2016 from a cardiac arrest, leaving behind a legacy of defiance against the superficial ideals that shaped his life. 14. Heidi Montag, the reality star's regretful transformation. Heidi Montag, a reality TV star from The Hills, sought to transform her appearance in hopes of boosting her career. In 2009, she underwent 10 plastic surgeries in a single day, including breast augmentation, a chin reduction, and rhinoplasty. Montag's transformation, meant to enhance her beauty and career prospects, quickly spiraled into a nightmare. The surgeries led to severe complications, including persistent pain and difficulty breathing. The public, once enamored by her beauty, quickly turned on her, calling her a cosmetic surgery disaster. Montag's personal life also suffered, with her marriage to Spencer Pratt becoming strained due to her obsession with surgery. Financial instability and public backlash led the couple to sell assets, further complicating their lives. Over time, Montag reflected on her decision to undergo such extreme procedures, expressing regret and focusing on healing. Her journey ultimately highlights the dangers of chasing beauty ideals at the expense of one's well-being. 15. Rodrigo Alves, the real-life Ken doll and transgender journey. Rodrigo Alves, who later transitioned to Jessica Alves, underwent more than 75 cosmetic procedures in his quest to look like a real-life Ken doll. Born in Brazil, Alves was bullied as a child for his appearance, which led to his obsession with perfecting his looks. Over the years, he spent over $1 million on surgeries, including rhinoplasties, liposuction, and chest implants. His striking appearance earned him media attention, but the cost of these procedures was immense, including near-fatal complications after one of his rhinoplasties. In 2020, Alves came out as transgender and began transitioning into Jessica, undergoing additional surgeries to achieve a more feminine look. Despite facing harsh judgment from the media, Jessica Alves continues to embrace her journey of self-discovery. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of cosmetic surgery excess, as well as the transformative power of embracing one's true identity, no matter the obstacles. 16. Farrah Abraham. Chasing fame and beauty at a high cost. Farrah Abraham became a household name through MTV's 16 and Pregnant and later Teen Mom. Her fame, however, was overshadowed by her obsessive pursuit of physical perfection. Over the years, Abraham underwent several surgeries, including breast augmentation, chin modifications, and rhinoplasty. As the surgeries became more extreme, her appearance began to look increasingly unnatural, leading the public to criticize her for her transformation. In addition to the physical changes, Farrah's pursuit of fame took a toll on her personal life. She ventured into the adult film industry, which further damaged her reputation. Financial instability and a deteriorating relationship with her family added to her struggles. Despite the hardships, Farrah continued to pursue cosmetic enhancements, becoming a figure who exemplifies the dangers of chasing fame and beauty standards without regard for long-term consequences.